Take 3. Hi, I'm Travis.
I'm Emma.
And this is Bestie Approved.
Yay. What was the last song you listened to?
The last song I listened to was Use Me, Brutal Hearts by Diplo, Dove Cameron, and Johnny Blue Skies.
I don't care if it makes me unk. I think I'll love Diplo until I die.
I love Diplo.
Yeah.
What was the last song you listened to?
You by Lloyd. I was listening to 2000 R&B hits.
Love.
I think it means 2000s.
I'm sure that's exactly what it means.
Yeah. Really beautiful era of music. Especially for cleaning. That's like perfect cleaning music to me.
We have a lot on the list today.
Yeah.
So I have to imagine the first thing on the list is a pretty universal experience of mothers, but I was FaceTiming with Emma. This had to have been last week, and it's like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I could tell she'd been having a day. And then she goes into her bedroom, she lays down with baby August, and he dozes off. And then all of a sudden I see Emma just closing herself in her closet. And so I want to unpack that a little bit.
Oh, okay. So it's all connected to if your baby sees you, it's over. And so when he's asleep or about to be asleep and I put him in his bed, I have to say I love you, kiss, 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 while I'm walking into the room, because the second he touches the mattress, I scoot out of there. Whoosh. I'm out. Because he'll start whining and wants me to pick him up. And same thing if he can hear me. And so sometimes I just have to hide. And I feel like everyone does it to some extent, but I really I'll just close the closet because I don't even want to think about if I'm being too loud or anything like that. I just need to not be there.
Well, it took me a minute to realize what was happening, but I see you just surrounded by clothes, and I said, for a second, I was like, is she having a mental breakdown? That's immediately where my mind went. I was like, she's in the closet, she's hiding. She's we're about to lose touch with reality for a second. And then I said, are you hiding in your closet? She goes, yes, I am. Yes, I am.
It's a must.
It's fine. And I'd be lying if I said I had not hidden in my closet before, just from the world. So I think it's okay. I think it's fine.
Yeah. It's comfy in there. And if you think about it, all the clothes is kind of soundproofing.
Yeah, muffling.
Yeah.
Your tears.
Right. In my existence.
Yeah. Just here I am. The range of shit on our list today.
Yeah, there's a lot of
So I want to unpack that cunt Kristi Noem's husband. So he could be one of the cock destroyers because he's over here. He's look at these big lovely tits. I love it.
Oh, hi guys. Look at these lovely big tits. Do you know what we are? We're fucking cock destroyers, aren't we, babe?
Fucking destroyers.
Yeah, fucking cock destroyers.
Right.
And I have to, so for anyone who's been living under a rock, Kristi Noem's husband has been reported by the Daily Mail to allegedly love putting on a drag queen breastplate, because that's what he's wearing in the pictures, and little pink biker shorts.
Yeah.
And I don't know what after that, but talk to women on OnlyFans sometimes, I guess.
I know what. Did you not see? He's shit talking Kristi Noem.
Yes. Well, no, I saw that too. Yeah. And I have to imagine the hardest part Kristi Noem's having with it is the fact that it came out on Trans Visibility Day, because I think she wanted to give no light to that day. I have to imagine that was someone pulling the string, that's God doing his work. But
100%. And sidebar, there's nothing cuntier than putting on fake tits, pink biker shorts, getting online and shitting on Kristi Noem.
No.
being married to her that puts it over the edge, okay? I'm not judging this man for his actions.
Here's the God's honest truth. If he wants to go out and put on his big, lovely tits and be a bimbofication guy, I want him to live his truth in that. Like, that's
Slay.
That's what I want for him.
I'm actually so happy for you.
Yes.
Don't be married to Kristi Noem. You're asking for it.
Yeah,
You're
that's hard.
asking for it.
That's hard. But
You have opinions, Auggie.
he's been great. And this is one of those things, like, I struggle with this a little bit because this is one of those things you can't hide in a marriage. Like, Kristi Noem knew what was going on, I assume.
There's no way.
You're not hiding those H-cup
big
tits.
bazungas did not catch her attention at some point.
But he, I guess, turned around. He's the most homophobic guy on God's green earth. And I'm like, what? Diva, what do you think you're doing?
That's
you're doing
where
drag.
I start getting aggravated, because how are you shitting on the group that you are a part of? And like, you can whatever, like, that's also not me coming for closeted people, but like a closeted homophobe is so irritating to me.
The part of me wonders if the whole homophobia of it all is like performative, though, because it's like, do you actually think like you're living this life and you're compartmentalizing it so hard that like you
100%
don't know? Or do you think like he actually feels this way and he does not like lump those things in this, like he doesn't think that what he's doing is drag? Like,
well, I wonder if he is, obviously he's not proud of doing it, so I wonder if he's built such a stigma around that part of himself that he hates himself and also hates people who can do that out and proudly.
I imagine there is a part of himself that hates himself, because if you're doing the bimbofication thing and like, because the whole idea behind this is like, I'm a stupid woman. I'm stupid, like whatever.
Yeah.
Which I don't love that.
No, I don't want to dig into. Well, you don't even have to dig into it. He's a misogynist through and through. Even when he's in his realist state,
Even when
he's a misogynist.
he's being a woman, he hates women.
Yeah, I just feel like if you're going to be that two-faced about anything, I believe that you hate yourself to some extent, because you
have
can't
to hate yourself to marry Kristi Noem. Let's start there.
Yeah, but you can't like, I don't know. You can't be a proud gay person and turn around and be a homophobe.
No.
You also can't be a homophobe and turn around and be happy as a queer person.
No.
Because what he's doing is queer. I'm not like, however you want to put that.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I don't understand. But I will say the more homophobic someone is, the more I think that they're gay.
100%.
So
I agree with
I
you.
think that comes.
I also wonder, like, just like, if you, I want to dig into the marriage a little bit, because like, it's like, I have to assume they started a traditional foundation for a, I know it's hilarious, isn't Auggie? Augie's sitting over here just laughing. I have to assume that like they got married in a Christian church, like they love Jesus, they love God, they're doing their thing. I want to know what the conversation was like when Bryon Noem said, I ordered something online from...
I wonder how long it's been that way, or if it's always been that way. And
I bet you're right. I bet you're right.
Because
and she
Kristi
could fix
Noem
him. She thought she could fix
seems
him.
like, yeah, he'll phase out of it, or she's like, you know, pretty narcissistic, and so I think
This pussy's gonna get him together.
Yeah, or like, I can cover up anything, sort of thing. Like,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
one would ever find out because I'm Kristi Noem. Like, I think that's legitimately how I picture her brain operating.
It's so messy. That's the thing. It's so fucking messy that like I there's no angle you can come at it from and be like, okay, they're just gonna be okay. Like
No one
and I
is...
don't know if I care that they're okay. I'll be honest with you. I don't care. Like in South Dakota, wherever the fuck they are, I don't care.
Truly, that criminal Kristi Noem deserves this.
Yes.
I don't know anything about this man, but he stood 10 toes behind Christy Noem.
And 2 tits.
Except for in those chat rooms, girl. He was...
Oh, have you heard the audio?
No.
Where he's like, it's like some OnlyFans model, like he's talking to online, and like she starts recording it from another phone, and he's like, I hate her, I hate Christina. I'm like, will you marry me? And I'm like, and she's like a dominatrix. So like, I assume there's a lot there that he needs to like go to therapy for.
Yeah.
But
I saw their messages where he was like, yeah, ugh, that bitch. I was like,
Jesus.
How can you? Oh my God. How can
And
imagine your spouse being in the federal government and really like public facing, and you just log into your little laptop like, hee.
look at these lovely
Look at what I'm
tits.
gonna do today.
And like, I wonder if he has to plan his day around like what he's gonna put them on. Like,
He's looking at Christy's schedule like, okay, she'll be gone from here to here. I think I could do some titty time in there. Like,
titty time. Titty time. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I needed that. Okay. Have you seen Needohs?
Yeah. Yeah. And I like a stress toy. I don't know. I like a little squishy guy. But I guess they're exploding everywhere, right?
They're exploding everywhere. And, like, have you seen the people lining up outside of Target, Five Below? Like, I don't know where else they sell them, but they're lining up, and it's, like, people mowing families down to, like, get to Nēdos. And it's, like, grown adults. And I think the thing that, like, bothers me the most is these influencers who are getting online and they're, like, playing with them and they're, like, doing a baby voice with it. And they're like, I got the pink one. And the comments are like, you're a grown adult.
Yeah.
You're like,
grow up.
I don't get, and it's like, it's the same thing as, and I say this as I'm drinking out of a Stanley Cup, but it's like, it's the same thing as a Stanley Cups. It's the same thing as.
Okay, but did you like elbow someone in the face for your Stanley Cup?
No, I ordered it on fucking Amazon.
As one does. Like, there's just no reason. I never understood that. Even like Black Friday, I don't understand why you think this fight is going to get you that TV or that Needo. You're just wasting time.
I have to imagine that it's like, because I don't know that Black Friday exists anywhere else, but like, I have to imagine it's a very American thing to like,
yeah,
get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
It is an American thing, wasn't it? Like I don't know. I think it was like a Great Depression thing. They like, everyone's gonna go shopping this day to get things back in the black.
Okay.
And that's why it's Black
that is
Friday.
The thing is like, that's the date, like they call it Black Friday because it moves, like your accounting goes back into the black that day. But like,
yeah,
I have no idea where it started, but I do know, like, working at Hollister, like, when we used to do Black Friday stuff, like, the way people would, like, fight over a T-shirt, and I'm like, do you actually care about the T-shirt? Like, do you truly to God care about it?
It always felt like a performance to me.
Yes.
Like,
And that's how I feel about the Needo thing, where it all feels performative.
right. There are hundreds of little stress balls or whatever on the market. Why in the fuck?
I don't know, but like I was like, it's all over my TikTok, and it's just
I can't understand it. I can't understand. I saw one video where it was like, they must have had a GoPro or something, and it was like their video of running into Target and getting a Needo.
It's like found footage from the Blair Witch Project. I'm not shitting you. Like, the way I watched this, and I'm like, there's no fuck. You couldn't pay me money to like run into a Target. First of all, you couldn't pay me money to go into a Target, period, right now. You couldn't get me to run for a fucking toy where they're getting like 2 little boxes of them at a time, and you have 30 people going to fight over them. You're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, absolutely not. You know what I would do if I worked at Target?
Kill myself.
Well, yeah, but first I would take all the Needos with me into the air vents and I would just start randomly dropping them on people, and that is who can be gifted with the experience of the Needo.
Is it like I don't know, and like I don't know what the like I don't know if it's a tactile thing. I don't know if people are that excited about it, but like people are going
seen
buck
them for
fucking
years,
wild.
by the way. Those little, like, nice cubes or whatever, those
Yes.
are Needos.
Yes.
Like, they've been around for years, so why are we obsessing now?
Well, it's the same thing with Stanley Cups, where they like Stanley Cups have been in
existed
existence
for,
for
yeah.
I think my papa said like 70 years or something. Like they've been around forever, and he said, I don't know what marketing genius said this is what you need to do, but they're living on an island somewhere now.
Oh, yeah. That girl whose car caught on fire, they could not have paid her enough for the marketing she did for Stanley Cups.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
remember that?
Yeah. Well, didn't like Paris Hilton buy her a new car or something insane too? Because it was a pink car, right?
Yeah, I think she got a new car, and she got something from Stanley. I don't know what, but anything short of $1 million is cheap for that queen.
Speaking of Target. And speaking of performative, have you seen this woman who? Well, hang on. What is? Let me go in and see what her name is. Her name is Heidi.
Oh,
and
geez.
She's healing her inner child, and she's going into Target dressed in a cape and a crown and mismatched clothes. And literally dancing in the middle of aisles at Target, putting her phone up like to record and go and like just yelling, "You're safe, you're safe, you're safe."
Yeah.
And do you want to know the number one indicator for me that someone is not safe is hearing, "You're safe, you're safe, you're safe." Like,
and I get, oh my goodness.
the way he smiles at you is actually the sweetest thing ever.
We know each other. My thing with that girl is like very clearly she's doing a form of therapy and healing for herself.
Okay.
I have met people with like agoraphobia before, and it is genuinely terrifying for them to leave their house. I don't know what has happened to this woman, but I understand what she's doing, right? She's trying to heal. I think I have a problem with the yelling out loud for affirmations, and I don't have a problem with her necessarily, but what makes me uncomfortable is also that she's recording it. I don't know. It feels weird.
I think if you do it one or two times, it's therapy. I think if you're doing if that's all that your TikTok grid is, and it's video after video after video after video after video.
It's a performance.
It's a performance. And I'm like, I get better. By the way, so do you. Like, we both get the idea of like needing to heal something with our inner child, because like I had a fucked up childhood, and like
I didn't really, but like I get it. Like wanting to.
Well, I'm saying because of me. Like
and like, I just feel like clearly there's something going on. I don't know if she's shared whatever this trauma is
with a therapist. Because I cannot imagine a therapist worth her salt. I actually might send this to Tanya Butler to like see like what her thoughts are.
Yeah, because I can understand to some extent when you say things out loud, your brain starts to believe that they're true. So saying out loud, "You're safe, you're safe, you're safe," will over time probably train your brain to believe that you're safe.
Okay.
However, I don't think you need to scream it.
I don't get the kick flips and the whole thing dancing in the middle of Target. Like,
I don't know.
I don't, and it's like you're dressing up in a cape and a crown, and like she's saying this to herself. She goes, "It's okay to be weird. It's and like, sure, yeah, like whatever, be weird. I don't care."
I don't know.
And part of me wonders if she's saying, like, I don't want to be mean about it. I really, really don't. But like, part of me wonders if she's saying it for the people watching. It like gives them permission to like maybe like let themselves out of their like out of whatever they're dealing with. Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
I think there are good messages to be found in it, but
absolutely.
But it's like very cringe in real life.
It is very cringe, and like where I do start to feel really bad for her are the comments.
Yeah, I wonder if she's just like, maybe she's recording because this is all an exercise to like exposure therapy to get rid of shame. Like she's tired of feeling ashamed, and maybe posting it online as part of that, because like eventually you have to let those comments go. Like however you feel, you have to let it go. And so like eventually you're not ashamed.
Maybe that's why Byron Noem let his tits out online too, is so he didn't feel ashamed anymore.
He leaked himself, actually.
He said, Daily Mail, have I got a story for you?
I have a little email to send you.
And like, I don't know. Like, I don't know that I care that like she's out there like doing this in the middle of a Target, like whatever. I think the most offensive part is that she's in a Target, but
if you haven't seen this woman, you have to watch it to know what we're talking about, because I'm really trying not to be mean to this girl, but like
it's hard not to.
It is tough to watch, and it does feel very, we are on stage. We are on stage. This is theater. I don't know what's going on.
But like, and like, I think it's because I'm hearing her perform it out in her mind is like why I feel that way too. I think the other thing for me is, can you imagine walking through, like for me it would be a Meijer or whatever. Can you imagine walking through and just like seeing someone in an aisle be like, well, I guess I'm going to go get chips later.
I watched it's literally like a 15-second video. Oh my God, I'll have to find it for you. But there's this guy who like drops and starts doing push-ups in the supermarket. Like
I've seen it. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen it.
Just backs right up and she looks so pissed. I loved that. That's like, so real.
It's going back to the era of the TikTok dances in like 2019, 2020. And people are just like, I guess I'm in the background of this video now. Like,
yeah. And listen, I really do have respect for people who are confident enough to set up a tripod and start filming in public, because I could literally never do that. I'd rather gouge my eyeballs out. But you have to respect other people's space if you want them to respect your stupid little video.
Yeah. And I think for us, like, because it's like, it's rich coming from us saying, like, because I mean, we're putting like all this shit out on the internet or whatever, but like, at least we're doing it like at your house.
I'm not putting anyone else on the internet without their consent, because I'll tell you what, how I look when I go to Meijer, I would be so pissed if 1 million people saw me looking like that. Put your phone away. Like, ugh.
Yeah. Do you have anything to complain about?
All I do is complain. Choose from the list, I guess. I don't know. I could complain about the disorganization of Jack's soccer league.
Please. I think this is a thing that like moms need to hear about, and like I would like to get other moms' input on this.
We signed up for soccer in literally January, I think. Like,
it was like late January, early February. Yeah.
A long periodically time ago, right? And practices are meant to start this week that we're speaking. So like late-ish April, mid-April, to be generous to them. We get an email the Friday before that's like, if you're receiving this, your team still doesn't have a coach. We're on a volunteer system, so if you want to do it, let me know. Excuse me? What do you mean by that? And like, mind you, it's like written out somewhere that it's a volunteer system. I knew that, right? But this soccer league is not like some random league. It's like connected to a soccer team that I won't air out, obviously. And it's connected to like the high school around here too. So it's like, how in the world are we not finding volunteers? I don't get it. And then finally, literally just yesterday, when some people had practice, he got a coach.
First of all, there's nothing that I can imagine is more annoying than like having your kid in a like I get like like if your kid wants to do a sport, like it's like let your kid do the sport, whatever.
Yeah.
But like the whole song and dance that goes into it, where it's like you have to go and buy the shit, you have to like, and then you have to get emails like this. Can you like, and the fact that like you got an email that said if you're reading this tells me that there are more than one team that is impacted by this.
100%. I missed a step in there too. Let me just add, there was another step in that process where at some point over the weekend, the director of the league sent out an email to everyone and was like, if you haven't heard from your coach yet, reach out to your age group director. So I also had to do that before I found out that we got a coach. Anyway, continue.
No, like, because like we know several parents that do like the travel sport thing, and I'll take that out of it because that's its own beast. But like I know
this is recreational soccer, obviously.
Like I know there are parents that like love that their kids are in sports and love it, and I'm just like, what about like people like you and me who are just like going through the motions of life at times, and it's like there are parents that take this so fucking seriously.
I know.
Jesus Christ, you couldn't pay me enough money. I'm so sorry. It would
keep us so busy if we did that. Like we would have no time for anything ever.
Actually, this brings up something else that I kind of want to talk about, like, if not next week, then the week after. There is this couple on the internet who, like, is trying to tell people how to have a, like, Christian marriage or whatever. And part of their thing is, like, you don't let the kids' sports rule your life. And, like, you can only go to church on Sundays. And, like, if they schedule a thing on Sundays, like, you can't do the sport. And I'm like... Okay. but there's a balance between like what I'm talking about and like going all in on the sport and like that being your whole life. There has to be a happy medium somewhere where it's like, yeah, my kid just enjoys playing soccer. God.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think if your kid really likes something and wants to pursue it, it is your duty to let them do that.
Absolutely.
Not to restrict them from it. At the same time, you're a person too. And so if you're like thinking of joining a travel league and you're going to have to travel 3 hours every weekend and that's not doable for you, then sometimes you have to say no. Like...
Do you remember that phase that I went through where I wanted us to be on Dodgeball League?
Yeah. Travis does this to me where he's like, let's run a marathon, let's run a 5K.
Let's run a dodgeball or kickball, league. One of the two. I think it was kickball,
I think it was kickball, yeah. Let's run a kickball league. Never in all of my days. Wait until he finds out the Westfield Collective has beach volleyball.
Oh, shut your whore mouth. I'm signing us right up. Oh, or the phase that I went through. Oh, Jesus. Do you remember the one I said? Let's do the AIDS life cycle and bike from San Francisco to Los Angeles.
Yeah. No. There was never a chance of me doing that one. That one in the 5K, I knew immediately I wasn't going to do. The kickball thing, I was like, I could show up once. But... no, never a chance. First of all, I don't own a bike, which is like,
I don't
obviously
either.
Go rent one and to do the thing, whatever. Do you understand that not owning a bike also means that I can't do that? I cannot bike from San Francisco to LA.
I was going to buy us bikes, Emma.
Why would you buy us bikes? We have to get on a plane.
Because this is a thing, Emma. This is a thing that they have. You can put a bike on the cargo hold of a plane.
Oh.
Anyway.
No, I think I'm happy without that.
That's fair, and I'm glad that phase never came to fruition. But
Every marathon season, though, don't you get a little inspired and want to run a marathon?
I always do around Thanksgiving when they're doing the turkey dash.
Oh, mine is marathon season when I see all the TikToks of people competing in the Boston Marathon or the New York City, obviously, and it's wow, I could so do that. You know what I can't do? That.
Do you want to know something so sick about the Boston Marathon? Do you remember?
You can't really say that.
Oh, it's bad. I mean, it's really bad.
Oh.
So this was around this was when the Boston Marathon bombing happened. And I was watching TV at my friend Pilar's house when we were getting ready for class or something. I don't remember what it was, but I was at her house and this man comes on the TV and I was like, oh my God, who is that hot man? And she goes, that's the Boston Marathon bomber. I might have to cut that.
In your defense, how is one to know?
Probably the chyron on the TV that said Boston Marathon bomber arrested. I don't know. I would like to complain about.
No, there are serial killers and stuff,
Yeah.
you know? And he's one of them.
My papal has a new obsession with Facebook Marketplace. And this is really bad because he loves more than anything to get something for $2 on Facebook Marketplace. And he'll call me. He'll be like, you have to go pick up this this filing cabinet that I bought from someone in Southport. By the way, I drive a Honda Civic. Do you want to know what's not fitting?
Fucking filing
easily?
cabinet.
Yeah, and my Honda Civic is a fucking filing cabinet. And
I don't like Facebook Marketplace because it makes me scared.
Taylor talked about this, or she said, it's not the people that are scary. It's the commitment to going to meet someone at the Pleasant View exit on I-74 at a gas station so you can give them your collection of bracelets and they can give you $5. That just feels terrifying to her.
It's, yeah, and I guess they have safe locations and stuff, but it's literally the police station.
Can you imagine being the Westfield police and being okay, in order to stop the murders that are happening, come to the police department.
Yes. This is the Facebook Marketplace. No, that's what they literally say to do if you're like me and you're paranoid about meeting a stranger for stuff, to do it at the police station. And it's I don't really want to do all that because, okay, what we're facing right now, Auggie is out of the bassinet.
Yeah.
And so that's the first thing to go. And it would be so easy, I know, to just list it on Facebook Marketplace for half of what I bought it for and just let someone come pick it up.
Yeah.
That would be so easy. You know what I can't do?
Yeah.
Let someone come pick it up.
No.
Absolutely
I don't want people to know where you live.
I don't either. And I don't want them to know where any of my loved ones live, and I also don't want to tote that thing to
the Pleasant View exit.
Right, or the police station.
No.
Hi, police. Yeah, just waiting for the buyer of this bassinet. Nothing to see here. I don't like the police.
I did sell when I was moving from Solana to the rail yard. I sold a ton of furniture from IKEA that I was not going to move. And the number of people that were I got to the point with some of it where I was like, if you have a truck, just come get it for free. I don't care. Come take whatever you want out of my apartment. It's fine.
Yeah.
And the way people were like, can you bring it to me? And I'm like, and they always have a sob story. It's my grandma has 6 toes and she can't drive. And I don't. And I'm like, no. This IKEA Calyx stand is not for you then.
If I could take it to you, I would have already taken it to the dump.
Yes. I'm like, I drive a Honda Civic.
And I drive an SUV, and so it's all kind of realistic for me, but I just can't do it.
No, it's exhausting.
And you know what? I can't do it with a baby in the car either.
No.
I'm not going to do it.
No.
I refuse.
I agree.
I told Kenny, I was like, if we sell any of this stuff, it's on you. Like, I'm not doing
100%.
it. I'm not doing it.
Are you ready for reality roundup?
I am ready.
Okay.
What are we reviewing today?
Well, so I have like a couple of quick hits before we get into the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But this also does involve the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So the first one, have you seen the talk around the new contracts that the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City have had to sign where they cannot, if it's off camera, they're not allowed to talk about it. If they leak anything to bloggers, they're subject to... You're good.
No, yeah, you keep talking.
Oh.
I can do it.
So the new contract said, wait, hang on. Oh yeah, so the new contract, it says, if they leak anything to bloggers, they're subject to penalties up to and including getting fired from the show. Losing screen time, like they're taking it really seriously, and it's all over the airplane thing with Meredith Marks and Whitney Rose. But I don't like that at all. I don't think I do like it because part of the drama with Salt Lake City, and like I think this is kind of the beauty of Salt Lake City is like they know they're housewives. They're not pretending like on Beverly Hills.
Be on a show.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so part of being on the show is having that guy, that blogger Adam in Salt Lake City who's best friends with Whitney Rose.
Yeah.
Part of that is the show.
It's reality TV, and now you're saying if you have reality, you mustn't be on the TV.
But part of me gets it because the way Meredith Marks treated that airplane scene, where I have a feeling she sent cease and desist to everyone on that cast to stop them from talking about it because it wasn't on camera, and I guess Whitney Rose like tried to record it. I don't know how true any of this is, like this is all hearsay, but like Whitney Rose recorded it, and because it wasn't production filming it, it was like inadmissible. So like it became a whole thing, and I imagine that's to avoid situations like that in the future. But like I like some of the off-screen drama, like because when you talk, like if you can break the fourth wall and talk about it and say like this wasn't on camera, but like I think that I don't care.
The whole point is we're supposed to at least suspend our disbelief to believe that what you're saying on TV is like what's actually happening in your life right now. Mm-hmm. And so if something actually happens in your life, I would like for you to talk about it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't really make sense to me. Like nothing that happens off screen they can talk about. So like, my grandma died. Like, I don't know
that. But like, do you remember on Atlanta? And it was Kenya Moore's like when she was building her house out in the suburbs, and like I guess she was dating that guy that was out of his mind, and he like broke her like the garage door, the glass in her garage door. Do you remember this?
No.
Okay, well, this happened, but it all happened off camera.
You.
And she, like, so is that not, like, eligible to be part of the show? Like, it's like, how far are we going to take? Like, it's only things we're doing on camera.
This seems very selective because I don't think police body cam footage is the producers filming.
That.
How many times have we used texts on Potomac?
That I would argue if iMessage didn't exist, Potomac would have ceased to exist in season 3 or 4.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm so
but that's
sorry.
not happening on camera.
Yeah.
So like it's very nitpicky to Salt Lake City, I feel.
But that and I think they are the worst about it. But like go back to I think it was last season in Potomac. Or no, it was Mia's last season in Potomac. Yeah, so that would have been last season where Giselle was having the fundraiser for her dad, and then Karen was like getting honored, and like they talk about it on camera a little bit, and then like they go to bed, and then like it's all about a text that like Karen sent out saying, oh, like I'm having the party at this time, and like so it's like that, like that's real life. Like,
right.
Do you know?
And
like,
how are we supposed to understand what's going on if we're not allowed to get context per Bravo?
I agree.
That's so weird.
So I'm conflicted about that, but
they all have attorneys. I don't know that they'll sign it. But it's not even about whether they'll sign it or not. It's more like, why would Bravo even try that? Like, maybe I need to read more about it or something to understand. Because
maybe I do too. I just like I was annoyed because I'm like I want them to be as messy as they want to be. Like,
I want it to be like uncensored.
Yes.
Like I want to see the real shit. Isn't that the point?
My fear is that like I don't ever want Salt Lake City to come to the place that Beverly Hills is in, where it's so evident they're all producing themselves.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. I'm not interested in that.
It might as well just be the OC, like fully scripted.
Yes. So you have that. Have you watched the new Ladies of London at all?
I watched the first episode.
What did you think?
I love it.
Okay.
But I love like that vibe. Like I love a very posh English situation.
I loved it. I love it so much. And like this group of women together, because like I was annoyed because I really, really liked Caroline Stanbury when she was originally on it. This is a reboot that Bravo did right. So you have these women who one of them is sober from Los Angeles, the other one is pregnant, so she's not drinking. The rest of them love to drink and they love to get messy. And then you have there's one, she's from Sweden or Denmark, I don't remember which, but she's a model, and Missy's her name, and I love Missy.
Yeah,
but Missy starts talking about her brother getting murdered, and Kimmy literally in one of the episodes goes, I don't want to hear your sob story. I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
That is pure television right there.
And like these women showed up to work, and like they also brought a gay guy on who is one of the ladies of London, and I'm like, because they talked about this with New Jersey where Caroline's brother was gay, and they talked about making him the first male housewife. I'm glad John Mark or whatever his name is.
I don't remember what his name.
John. It's a hyphenate first name, but I love it so much. I love him. I think he's so silly.
Yeah, he's so funny. Yeah, I liked him a lot.
And like he's one of these people that takes himself so seriously that like you can tell it's not an act. Like this, I believe this is who he is.
Oh yeah, that is his lifestyle. Like
I love him so much.
Some people just have so much more energy and discipline than I do, and he's one of them where I just look at him and I'm like, I could never live the way you do. Like you just wake up and really do it every day.
He wakes up and he's like, I'm gonna go buy antiques. I'm gonna go to Christie's art house. You're fine. It's still picking you up.
Okay, good.
Yeah. It's fine.
And him too. Augie's here.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Where are you at with that?
I'm at a point with it where I almost don't even want to watch it ever again. Ever again. I would let things go and let things go and let things go, and now I'm truly and positively kind of over it.
I agree.
It seems like what they put on TV is real, but they're talking about it in such a scripted way, and there is really like dangerous shit happening behind the scenes. And if this all started with Taylor being arrested for domestic violence, and we all believed she would do better, and we were going to watch her rehabilitation era, and she's just doing worse shit now. So I don't know.
I think part of the problem is they don't ever stop filming. I will say, I think part of the problem is like it's like, and it's this idea that everything is content, and I understand that they don't ever stop filming. So it's like we get everything. Yeah. And like there's some things where like, I think the best example in my mind is like Kim Richards when she relapsed for one of the times she relapsed, and she went into Target and she just took a cart and she said, here we go, and just left Target. And like the producers of The Real Housewives, because this happened during filming, but The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I think said, no. Like, even for us, that's a step too far. We don't want that on camera. They still talked about it. It was still a thing, but like
they didn't actually show it.
Yeah, there were things where it's like, okay, we have to like not let that
ruin
part
their
of the
lives.
yes,
like
ruin
at
their
the
lives.
end of the day, that would have ruined them.
Yes, and then there's no time for it to breathe in between seasons, so like you never know what the timeline is, and then it's too much, and then it's the thing with Taylor Frankie Paul where everyone has seen it at this point. The footage is so dark, and like I can see both sides of the argument where I'm like, you have a woman who to be fair, that is domestic violence against Dakota. That is. You can see a woman that has been gaslit within an inch of her life, though. You cannot tell me otherwise.
No, I'm just not gonna support. I don't think either of them are in the right. I think they're both in the wrong.
Yes, I agree.
But I just cannot continue to like support this environment they're putting their kids in.
And that's the hardest part, where it's like, I'm not going to defend either of them. Like, I'm not going to take the stance that, like, I've seen a lot of people on TikTok say, well, Dakota waited to post that online. The footage was still there. I'm so sorry. Like, the footage was there, and you can't, like, whether or not he held it in his back pocket to be vindictive to Taylor, I will buy that that's exactly what he was doing. I don't.
Who cares?
Exactly. And, like, she threw a stool at him. And
a metal one.
Yes. And it hit her son or her daughter. Like, one of the two.
It was, like, inches from his head.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, seriously disturbing stuff to watch. And I don't really care what Dakota's reasoning is. I don't care what Taylor's reasoning is. I'm over it. I was willing to let Hulu slide with, like, the timeline jumps.
Oh, sure.
And I don't know. And the, like, not leaving Jen alone when she was clearly not in her right mind in postpartum rubbed me the wrong way, but I was willing to let that go. It's a wrap for me. It's a wrap.
It's like, how far are we going to let it go? That's the hard part.
Exactly. And in that same vein of them, like, never stopping filming and the timeline being confusing, I think Miss Whitney Levitt, who I have really turned the page on.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Really
I'm on her side.
She needs to get out immediately. If she wants to have this successful performance career, which I watched her on Dancing with the Stars, loved her. And then she did Chicago.
And she was happy.
Yes.
Like, you could tell she was happy.
Radiant.
Yes.
Yeah. Loved it for her. She has to stop filming with these women.
And I would say the same thing about Jen. Like, where if she wants to do the thing in Los Angeles, she has to get away from this because it's becoming too toxic. And it's like, I want better for Macy. I want better for Jesse.
And if they don't get out now, this is all they're ever going to be.
Yes.
Like, no one's going to hire Whitney to perform as a dancer or an actress or a singer, because everyone will only view her as a Mormon wife.
Yeah. But it's the same thing with, like, Kyle Richards, where, like, you don't know her for, like, I know she was in, not Scream, but, like, one of the Halloween movie. And she was on Little House on the Prairie, like, when she was growing up. But, like, you don't know Kyle Richards for anything other than The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills now. And that's all she is known for.
But, like, to have this group to boost you off the ground so that you can get this career started, I can't understand why it would be hard to, like, leave. You know? Because it's like,
100%.
They gave me all this success. How am I just going to tell them I quit? You know?
But, and, like, the money that's associated with Mom Talk, there's money there. And, like, who wants to be a struggling actor?
No,
you know?
No one. Yeah, I get it. But she has to get out. And yeah, same with Jen, and same, I would argue, even Jesse, unless you want to be like how many people are coming to you just because of the show? You know what I mean?
I would argue that's probably half of her client base. Right. If not more.
Like, I wonder how she feels about that. Because I feel like for me, I would want people to come to me because I'm good at hair. And she is good at hair. Yes. But it's just like, is that why people are coming? Right. I don't know.
Speaking of Jessie, she's getting divorced.
And she looks so happy.
She does. She does. And, like, I love more than anything. Like, part of me is like, oh, like, you need to keep part of that, like, separate with, like, the like nastiness of the divorce. But, like, part of me is like, when I think she went on Call Her Daddy and she's like, let's talk about the escorts, let's talk about the orgies. And I was like, Let's.
Yes, please. I was waiting for you to say that. Yeah, no, I actually like it for her. I think she seems like she feels free.
It felt like she was hiding a lot for Jordan. And like, I wanted to like Jordan. I wanted to like all the husbands, by the way. And like.
Me too, except for that one, Chase. I never wanted to like him. I mean, he's cute.
I love Chase. I talked about this with the sisters on.
You did.
Yes, and like, they were so mad at me because I love Chase. I can't get enough of him. I think he's so hot.
He's funny.
He's funny. I think his videos with Miranda were like, you could tell she begrudgingly does them. I think it's all.
I think he's really funny, and I think it would be fun to be around, but I never liked him like as a partner for any of them.
Oh, I knew the instant he came on, and I did not. Do you remember we talked about this when they were at the Halloween party, and I thought he was just showing up not in a costume, just being a douchebag. I've been all in since that moment. Like, you can't tell me shit about him. I love Chase.
He is very funny. I just don't want any of them to marry him or date him or have any more children with him.
Here's the God's honest truth, though. I think Chase, somewhere in his soul, knows, like, marriage might not be for him, unless it's with me, and that's okay.
I think if as long as he's aware of it, then I'm happy. But yeah, it's all kind of falling apart. This might be the end of Mom Talk.
This might be the end of Mom Talk. That's going to be the title of today's episode.
I don't know. How are you feeling about it? I feel like I very much hijacked that conversation.
You feel exactly the same way I feel. Like, I have a hard time getting away from like what I think the original idea of certain, like when we got away from the original, like what the heart of Real Housewives of New York was. And like when we got away from the heart of like Beverly Hills, and like I haven't been able to watch it consistently for the last few years, and it's like that's why I've like held on so like deeply to Atlanta, because I'm like, I swear to Christ, if Atlanta disappoints me, I don't know that I'll come back from it. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is not what we started watching when it was Taylor Frankie Ball and the swinger scandal. Like, it's not the same thing anymore, and it sucks because like these girls are entertaining. Like, these girls, you put them together, and like I believe that like Macy is like she's the heart of Salt Lake City. Like, even with Jen, where like I had such a hard time with Jen, and like I didn't like her in the beginning, and then I did, and then I didn't, and I've gone back and forth with her. That's part of her charm, is like you go back and forth with her. And Whitney, who like you hated and then you grew to love. Yeah. We're losing that, and like I don't like it anymore. It sucks.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like they've all realized that they have to keep the good stuff like to themselves more, because putting that out in the world has done nothing but bite them in the ass. And so we're only getting the drama, and it's only gotten darker and worse since the show started. So
and like I didn't know that it could get much darker than Taylor getting arrested. That's the thing. And like,
oh, they've found such creative ways.
It sucks, but
I didn't like the Demi Mean Girl villain arc either.
I forgot Demi existed. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I hate her. I hate her.
But I loved her so much. I was like, I think she's beautiful. I'm obsessed with her the first season. And then that villain arc, it was just so strange. And Mean Girl Caddy, it reminded me of like high school. But like there wasn't enough tea surrounding it for it to really be intriguing.
But you can tell she's that girl in high school that like
was a mean girl.
She was awful. Like you can, and I'm shocked that we haven't gotten more about that. Like I would have thought like these girls would have had people coming out saying like let me tell you about them in high school, because like
how many people do you think have cease and desist with a little check on the side?
That being said,
just wondering.
So for our reality roundup, episode today, we're doing season 1, episode 11 of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. All bets are off.
Yay!
We're almost at the end of season
Yeah,
one.
but we're back at the beginning of rounding it up.
Yes.
We haven't done a season 1 episode in forever because there have been so many.
I know. Also, can we just talk
premieres.
about really quick before we do this? The husbands watching Housewives. I want to talk about them for a second, like without them being
I'm
on the
so
show.
obsessed with them.
I love doing episodes with them. Like,
Yeah,
I think they
me
are
too.
so fun. They are so silly. And, like, I think that... I love Scott and Jeff. I think they are just... God, the salt of the earth.
They're the best.
I cannot get enough
They
of them.
really are. I think we align well too.
But they've talked about this where, like, you and I are pretty opinionated people, and so are they.
Yeah.
And it's fun that we have very different opinions about very different things, and like the things that like we can come to the middle on, like whatever. But like I can't get enough of them. I love
know.
them so much.
Right. If you don't watch
Husbands
oh my
watching
God,
Housewives.
I can't even say words. If you don't listen to Husbands Watching Housewives already, you should.
Yes.
They're so funny and great and cool. Out together, can't we?
We're doing it. So, season 1, episode 11, all bets are off.
Yay!
We haven't done a season 1 episode in a while, but we're almost at the end of
Right.
season 1.
Yes.
Okay, so we got opening shots.
Yeah.
Robert Sr. calls his wife Miss Mary, and I don't like that.
It's a very Southern thing.
It's a very Southern thing, and it's a very Christian thing. Like, to call someone Miss their first name, that's a very
Yeah.
church thing,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Every man I ever ran into in the South called every woman he'd ever met Miss whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I do it for my kids when it's like an adult that we're not like friends with.
But if your spouse called you Miss Emma,
Yeah, that's weird.
that's an instant boner killer.
But it's like it's weird for a normal relationship, but since
It's
they're
even
more of a
weirder.
business transaction, I guess. I don't know.
Whatever. Brooks and Meredith are grocery shopping. I was obsessed with this grocery store they were in.
Yeah.
It looked so... Like, have you been to Goose the Market downtown?
Yeah,
It's like that.
It did kind of look like that. Very chic. Which reminds me, every time, since you told me that Mary Crosby has a house in Carmel,
Mm-hmm.
every time I'm in Whole Foods, I'm like, where are you? Convinced I'm going to see her.
Run into Mary Cosby.
And have nothing to say.
Oh, I'll have nothing but good things to say to her.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Okay, moving on.
We'll make this one quick, Auggie, I promise. This one's not a super long one. And then Jen and Sharif are planning the double date with Heather and Big Daddy, the guy that they set Heather up with.
Yeah.
God, what
I
a
think
dream.
that's such a cute way to set someone up a double date. Like,
Yeah.
that's so sweet.
It is, and like, we'll get to it, but like,
Obviously, this instance isn't the greatest.
isn't perfect, right?
But, like, the idea of being like,
I love the idea.
I want to set up these two. Let me just take them out with my
Mm-hmm.
husband. And so then it will never be awkward because each of them will have friends that they're
Exactly.
with. Yeah.
We go over to Whitney's house. Whitney's brother and sister come over to have dinner with Diane Warren, Whitney's dad. Ever since Carrie from Sexy Unique podcast said that, like, I cannot get enough. I was like, that's all I can see. Whitney explains that her dad, or that she was really the only one that was all in on helping her dad, and her brother wasn't sure if he wanted to be involved, and the sister just said no altogether. And
You know, I wish that the way they presented it, I wish was not so harsh to the sister. It felt like.
I think her reaction's completely valid.
I think it's totally valid to not want to help with that. That's not something you sign up for with a parent.
But here's the thing: it's not. I don't think it's that she didn't want to help. It's that I think you like. I think she was probably being very self-aware in saying, "I'm not emotionally equipped to deal with this."
And
'Cause
I respect that.
I've lived it. I
Yeah.
know how hard this is, and part of me wishes that I could have been more like her and like just kind of said, nope, I'm going to keep you at arm's length for a while because I can't do that.
Right.
But I'm also at the same time very impressed with Whitney's willingness to never give up. Like,
oh my gosh. Obviously, that was no hate towards Whitney. I don't think she meant it that way. And she is God's strongest soldier.
100%.
For trying to help her dad through that. Because as a child, you don't ask to be born. I don't believe that you necessarily owe your parents that. Especially.
But I also, like, I imagine that Whitney would be this person for, like, if she had a friend that was dealing with addiction, I imagine she would go to the ends of the earth for them, too. Like,
she's a nurturer, yes. For sure.
But then, so the dad comes over, they're all sitting together at dinner, and, like, the conversation gets super uncomfortable because Whitney's brother calls out that the dad does like this cycle where he's like, oh, I want to be in your lives, and then just doesn't follow through. And like it sucks because like when you get to the reunion you see how all of this ends, but
yeah, that's
like
tough.
I hate knowing how it ends because I know that feeling of hope where it's like I'm getting my dad back, and I cannot imagine putting this on national television and being like, okay, like dad's here. Like, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out the rest. And then, I don't know. But, like, at the same time, I feel like he did kind of want to make things right. But, like, part of me is like, well, this is what addicts do, is they tell you what you want to hear.
I think it's also important as an adult to be honest about that kind of thing. Like, even when you do all of the right things and more than that, you go above and beyond for things, sometimes it just doesn't work out. And there are things that are beyond your control, and that's okay. She should still be proud of herself for the work that she put in.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Wow.
I'm beyond proud of Whitney Rose. We go over to Heather, and she shows up to the double date with Jen and Sharif, and even knowing everything we know now, I would love to go on a double date with Jen and Sharif. I think that would be the most fun that anyone has ever had.
100%.
I feel like just having a dinner with Coach Shaw would heal something in me, like just to get like a pep talk or something from him.
Yeah, I think having a double date with Jen and Sharif would be more fun than going out with just Jen. I feel like he
1000%.
brings such a calm, grounded, like
almost like a maternal energy out of her.
Yeah, and he seems so safe to be around.
Oh my God.
He's just one of those people I feel like I would be so comfortable around.
And I would tell him everything.
Anything and everything. He should have been like a therapist, because I would just let him fix me.
Yeah.
Like, I would be so honest with him. Yeah.
Heather's kind of cute and nervous, and then Big Daddy shows up.
Yeah.
I
loved seeing, before we get to him, I loved seeing Heather, like, ready for a date and excited and nervous.
And, like, the butterflies and the whole thing.
How good for her versus the feeling she must have felt with, like, this husband who hated her.
Yes.
And, good for her. The man's trash.
But here's the thing. He's not ugly. He's not ugly by any stretch of the imagination. Heather is miles out of his league, though.
No. He's not ugly, and he's not trash. He actually seems like a nice guy.
He seems like a wholesome guy that doesn't drink, and, like, he'd be really good. Like, for someone like my Aunt Tina, he would be perfect.
They're not a good match.
No.
I liked her more with that little man she met at Jen's party.
Yes. Oh, when she was like, come get this pussy. Like,
yes.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I like that energy for her so much more.
I do too. Like, we're like, because she's not like putting herself in a box. She's like, no, I am who I am.
Yes.
And I don't want her to be anything else.
I love a woman who's like big, loud, free, not big in size, obviously.
Like a big personality.
But, like, she's taking up her space.
Yes.
Like, she's being out there and whatever. And yeah, I just like that for her more. But what a cute little date. Like,
Yeah.
so not every
It was a
date
cute
needs
date.
to be like your soulmate, obviously.
And like, I also love that she kept calling him the Big Easy. Like, and then like, you could tell, like, they get to the end of the date, like, whatever, and Big Daddy asks about dessert, and Heather goes, Sharif can get you a Slurpee on the way home. And she was so fucking done. And like, even that, I like where she's like, I know my worth, we're cool. Like,
right, like, we don't need to do that thing.
We go back to Whitney's house, and Whitney's daughter Bobby is rolling around on one of those stupid fucking hoverboard things in the house, and
Those make me so nervous.
they make me mad because Aria has one of those things, and like, and I fucking hate them. I'm like, God, you're not. Do you remember when Charisse in Potomac was riding around on one of those when she was building her champagne room?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Do you know what?
Who's
She
that
kind of
for?
pulled it off.
Okay.
I liked it for Charisse. It was like a very chic mode of transportation for her. But most,
Charisse could also do no wrong in my eyes, so that's
right,
fair.
there's nothing I would have dogged her for on this show. But like, the hoverboards make me so nervous because it's always kids, and they're always like,
And you're gonna break your fucking nose.
They're always a little bit distracted, and I'm like, you're gonna run that thing right down the stairs. You're gonna run that
Yes.
thing directly into a corner.
Yes.
You are never gonna be the same. Use your walking feet.
Yes.
God.
I don't know why those things make me so irrationally mad, though. It's weird.
I know that kids think they're fun and cool, but they won't be doing that in my house.
Whitney decides she wants to plan a girls' trip to Vegas, so she invites everyone. And God, I forgot about this. Mary's the only one that says she isn't going to go because Jen's going to be there, and she says she would literally be on a plane full of mice than Vegas with Jennifer Shaw.
That is so preacher of her, by the way. She gets very biblical with
She
it.
does. Like, and it's
Yeah.
like I would rather have like a swarm of locusts come down. Like,
She gets very biblical with the reads, and I appreciate that about her.
and then so Lisa calls Meredith to talk shit about Whitney, and like, I wanna come back to Coach Shaw's party for a second. Do you think Lisa's actually this mad about Whitney telling Jen that Mary said that Lisa and Meredith were afraid of Jen? Like, do you think Lisa's actually this mad about it?
No.
This all feels to me like she hated Whitney Rose. And
She
was
gave
going
her
to
a
be.
reason. Yeah,
Yes.
Whitney gave her a reason.
Yes.
And she acted on it. And to be fair, Lisa can kind of do that, as we've seen in the future.
Yes. And Meredith also is no stranger to talking shit about people. But like, what I will give Meredith is like her beef with Whitney does seem a little more grounded in reality because Whitney was talking about the problems that Meredith and Seth were having in the relationship.
Exactly, yeah.
I'll give Meredith that, but
Lisa, come on.
Lisa, come
You know who she
on.
reminds me of is a little bit is Giselle. Because when Giselle...
Who just can't let something go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
When Giselle decides she doesn't like someone, they could say the sky is blue and she'll start freaking the fuck
Yes.
out. So it's like, that's what is kind of giving to
Karen
me.
a little bit too,
Yeah.
where it's like you said something bad about my marriage, I will kill you for the next 3 seasons.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to spin every possible narrative we can until I don't see you anymore.
That's why we went to Sing Sing.
She really did go to Sing Sing,
That
though,
hot
didn't
box.
she? I heard that. Oh my god.
So we get the pre-shots of everyone packing for the trip. Heather's Vegas pants. It's like a tropical print that I'm like trying to figure out. She's like, I'm gonna find you a new dad. He's a top-notch gambler. And I'm like, what are we doing,
What
Heather?
are we doing? Yeah, I was confused by that as well.
Yeah.
I don't think she had any time to find a man once they do get to Vegas.
No, 'cause
Spoiler alert.
It went as fast as Lisa Barlow on that track. So Whitney says she never heard back from Lisa, so she assumes she's not going. And this is annoying to me because I'm like, Lisa's going to be there, and that, like...
Yeah.
Come on. Whatever. Brooks is having Meredith back, and I love Brooks and Meredith's relationship. It's kind of... It, like, feels like they're constantly a little bit annoyed with each other, but, like, there's such a deep love there. I love it so much.
Yeah, very close mother and son, I feel.
And then Meredith mentions that you're constantly on your feet in Vegas, and I immediately had PTSD flashbacks of that fuck-ass bachelorette trip from hell that I went to in Vegas.
Yeah.
And then all Brooks knows about Vegas is that it's the prostitution capital of the world, and I said, good for you, Brooks.
Oh, good, yeah.
Everyone starts to show up at the airport. Whitney has extensions in, and this is the first time we've seen Whitney in long hair. Do you not like it?
I like her short.
Oh, I love the long hair on Whitney.
I do love the long hair. It looks great. It's not like it's poorly done. I think a rule I stand by is if a girl looks good with short hair, she needs to always have short hair.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, you exist in my mind with a bob. So now I look at you and it looks like wig.
Fair. Okay, that's fair. I think Whitney could look good in like a wet paper bag though. Like that's the thing about Whitney.
She could never look bad ever. And like it's long hair, it's never gonna like ruin the look. But yeah, I just love short hair for her.
But like when she was wearing the long, because it was the first time we've seen her in long hair, and I was like, oh, this is cunt. I love it.
Yeah, she's so hot.
They get on their Delta flight, and I have the same duffel bag as Meredith, which is very cunt. They get to Harry Reid Airport. The performative nature of Jen needing a separate limo for the luggage, I was like, God, how did we not see the indictment coming from a mile away?
She has to be a nightmare to travel with.
Yes.
I can't imagine.
This took me back immediately to that fuck-ass trip where, like, 3 separate people had to check bags for 2 of the girls on the trip. And I was like, we're going to Vegas. I put the same thing in my notes. It's a 2 or 3 day trip to Vegas. So like a long weekend at the most, and you packed what looked like 6 full suitcases. Who is that for?
Because you're performing.
Yes.
There's no one on this earth. The Queen of England does not need that many bags for 3 days in Vegas.
No.
Like, what are we doing? I don't know. And I can be a bit of a diva when traveling.
I love to overpack.
Like, I'm very quick to check a bag. Mm-hmm. I'm very quick to pay that overweight fee. I do not care.
Yes.
At all.
But 6 bags for a 3-day trip to Vegas.
Doing?
Exhausting.
Like, I wonder if any of them were empty. I need to see.
No, I know they weren't empty. I wholeheartedly believe that Jen packed all 6 of those suitcases full of whatever.
Shit.
I'll imagine that Crystal Pussy was in one of those suitcases because her whole Shaw Squad shows up there at some point. So
maybe that's where they were. They give them those pills like dogs to make them sleep and put them in the cargo.
Come on, Gabapitten. So where are we? Okay. So then they head to the hotel. Whitney calls Lisa and it goes straight to voicemail. Then literally 4 fucking seconds later, Lisa's calling Meredith. She's like just having a conversation. And then we get probably one of the most iconic confessionals of season 1 where it cuts away to Whitney doing an impression of Lisa, and then she says, I can't look like I'm being sexy and taking a shit at the same time.
Which is a read for Lisa. Sorry, Lisa.
She's not wrong, though. So Whitney tries to talk to Lisa while Meredith has her on speakerphone, and Lisa could not be less interested in participating in that conversation. And this is where I start to feel bad for Whitney, because I'm just like, she's so mean to Whitney. Like, it's so nasty. It's like...
And for what?
Because she's pretty.
Yeah.
Because she's pretty.
And young.
And beautiful.
And people like her.
And then Jen says Lisa isn't okay with Whitney because of the scared of Jen allegations. And then we get a flashback to Jen and Lisa talking about it. And I'm like, I thought it was squashed. Like, we all went to, like, we went to the bath thing, and, like, it was all okay. And I'm like...
And the people who were actually fighting made up, so I think you just need to let it go.
And I'm like, what? Let it go. Like, what?
She wanted Whitney off the show so bad, I fear.
Yes. The women show up to the hotel, and it was the Nomad, which is one of these hotel within a hotel concepts that has never fully made sense to me because it's just like the top 4 floors of a hotel, which is neither here nor there. But they walk into the lobby, and they're greeted by what I assume are brand ambassadors, and then I wrote down the full poem that this guy read.
Yes, please recite.
Welcome, you ladies. It's an honor you're here. Now that you've arrived, please lend us your ear. There's no salted lake here, but no shortage of sin. Here's a rose with some bubbly. Let your Vegas trip begin. And I know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that this, to be fair, this is before ChatGPT. And
they put their whole pussy in that.
This little boy said, I'm going to be on TV. Hang on.
And he wrote a poem. Like, how sweet is that?
And then Heather says this man spent more time on that poem than Billy did putting together his entire marriage proposal. Jesus.
Was the proposal going to be on television on Bravo?
Should have been.
So...
Whitney announces that she's taking the girls to do exotic car racing, and I actually want to do this so fucking bad.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And then Jen says she actually has something planned for Heather, which... okay, great, whatever. It's awkward as hell. And then... where are we at here? Okay, and then, like, I got really annoyed at this because, like, Jen's trying to separate Heather from the group. Like, did you not, like, was that not super evident to you?
Yeah, it was really obvious. It's so weird.
And then Lisa shows up at the hotel, and she does not feel like she owes a single goddamn person an explanation about how she's getting to Vegas and when she's going to be there. And I have to tell you, I love her sometimes because when she said that, I was like, she's not wrong.
No, I think people obsess over that for no reason. The whole point is the trip. Who cares what plane she's on?
I'll be there when I get there. Fuck you.
Yeah, God.
And then we start cutting back and forth between Meredith and Lisa talking, and then Whitney and Heather talking. And these women love the word accountability more than anything in existence. Let's see. Jen gives Heather her surprise, and it's an exclusive, and I feel like we're using this word loosely, shopping experience with some personal shoppers. And the guy, personal shopper, looks like he's hiding Horcruxes.
Yeah, he's so weird looking.
And I hate everything about this. Like, I don't like the idea of personal shoppers because you're stuck. Like, have you ever been with a personal shopper experience?
No.
When Saks was still open, I've done this before, where you're stuck in a room with a woman who has, like, gotten a bunch of clothes for you, who works on commission, who's desperate for the money.
No.
And I hate it more than anything. And it's like, I don't want people watching me try clothes on. I don't want anything to do with it.
I'm self-conscious enough as it is.
Yes.
Oh my God, do you want to know a grave error I made recently? It was like back in February. I think I was only maybe 2.5 months postpartum. Mm-hmm. I went in one of those fuck-ass Von Maur fitting rooms.
No. That was a choice.
They will make you feel like the biggest person who has ever walked the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Those Von Maur fitting rooms need to be destroyed.
It's the floor to ceiling mirror. It's the, like,
and the multiple angles, but it's like none of them are good.
Not good angles. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And, like, you couldn't pay me money to go into a fitting room at Von Maur.
Like, I have childhood memories because my grandma used to take me to, this is a huge tangent, but my grandma used to take me to the dinner theater every year. And she would take me to Von Maur to get a fancy dress to go to the dinner theater. Yeah. How cute. I had my first existential crisis in one of those fitting rooms because I saw myself too much and I was like, oh my God. It'll make you do that every time. Have that feeling of like, oh my God, that's me. You know what I mean? And then you start being like, whoa, 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 what's happening?
I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't like existing.
Every time in those fitting rooms. Anyway, okay.
So Whitney Meredith and Lisa head over to the racetrack, and this would have been the most uncomfortable car ride ever because Whitney says she'd rather be at church. Lisa takes a phone call in the same way my papaw does, like in the middle of a conversation. It's like my papaw doesn't even tell you to hang on. He just picks up the phone and like it's a trigger for me.
I hate that. Hate that.
And then they get to the track. Lisa gets out and immediately announces she drives a Porsche Panamera, and I was like, Jesus Christ. Okay, Lisa. Which I'm sure she does, but I'm like, this man doesn't care. He's like in this world. He doesn't care. And then Whitney and Meredith jump right in, and they're driving like they're on a racetrack. And then Lisa's driving like my granny. Yeah. And the coach goes, okay, like you can press on the gas a little bit. You can do the gas. And then she's like, okay. And then he like lets them lap her. And then after their experience, they all get out of the cars and they talk about like the state of their situation. And the conversation actually felt productive. Like it felt like we got somewhere, and Whitney apologized and they all agreed to move on. And I think they did mean it in this moment. We'll revisit it. So, and then we go back to, oh God, I had a lot of notes about this. We go back to Jen and Heather trying on shoes, and I hate that Heather kisses Jen's ass so much in literally every scenario where it's like, thank you so much for putting together this experience. Like, it's like, this is for Jen. Like,
and that's why Jen is ostracizing her, because she knows if Heather spends too much time with other girls, Heather's going to start hating her too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so Heather brings up Whitney, which gives Jen an excuse to obsess over Whitney saying that Lisa and Meredith were afraid of her. Heather tries really hard to be in Whitney's corner, but Jen isn't willing to hear it. Jen says that you can't just bring information to the group without taking it all the way to the end. And I would just like to ask one Mrs. Jennifer Shaw about the business opportunities she sold to people, and if those ever went all the way to the end.
And I would argue, did she not take it all the way to the end by telling you that, Jen?
No.
How much further is she supposed to take it?
I don't know. I don't know. But, the conversation around this is getting so exhausting. And then, we get a confessional of Heather saying that she's confused because Jen and Whitney hugged and made up in the hot tub, where Jen splashed the cameras and the producers, and she thought that there was closure, and she didn't understand that why they're having this conversation again. But, we're also talking about the same woman that couldn't let go of Mary, saying she smelled like hospitals. So, I don't know. I think this is to be expected, I guess.
Yeah, Jen Shaw feels offended and then doesn't know how you can make it up to her.
Yes.
Is the problem.
And then Jen comes back and says that Whitney ruined Coach Shaw's birthday, and I would argue she just made a comment. She made a comment. She was wasted. You were the one who broke the glass. You were the one who caused the scene. You were the one who took your husband and said, we're leaving right now. You took him out of his birthday. Whitney didn't do any of that.
Right. I don't know why we're blaming Whitney for that.
And then Heather gets really brave and asks Jen if she's blaming Whitney for throwing the glass. And then Jen just rolls right through that question because Jen cannot take accountability. And then Jen starts saying that Heather needs to be in her corner and she needs to stand up for her to Whitney. And then she says something, and this is the end of the episode, where she goes, the only reason I haven't slapped her is because she's your friend, Heather. And then she starts making it about Heather putting her name and her reputation on the line for Whitney. And I'm like, babe, do we not see where you're headed? Your name is one that I think a lot of people would struggle to put their name on too. I don't know.
I just thought the whole thing was so strange, and Jen seems panicky about it for no reason. It's all weird. It's a very weird tone, and I just don't like it. It's she's always trying to spin this narrative. Anytime you catch her in any type of lie, she just doesn't say anything and just asks you another accusatory question. It's weird. And
the benefit of the doubt I'm willing to give Jen in this scenario is like, because we just watched the first episode of The Real Housewives of Rhode Island. And you can tell that they're all fighting for some alpha spot. I think this is the panic that Jen was in, where she's like, I need to be the leader of the pack. Like, I have something to prove.
And she's not as likable as she thought she was going to be.
Exactly.
And she's aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a lot.
This show, I just feel, I loved this season of television, don't get me wrong.
Yes.
I think she would have done better if she would have just been loud and been herself and not worried so much about how she was being perceived.
I think that, and I also think, like, she's too obsessive over things that, like, in hindsight, I wonder if you asked her now, like, what do you think about Mary saying you smell like hospital? Do you care? Do you actually care?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
because for me, I would have been at that dinner and been like, yeah, my aunt just got her leg amputated or whatever, and watched everybody look at her with disgust, and I would have moved right on.
Yeah. Because then number one, you're taking care of your aunt that got her leg amputated. Number two, then Mary looks like the crazy person. Yeah.
And then it's done, and you have witnesses.
Yes, but
I don't know.
That is... like, this episode actually leads into some good stuff in Vegas. Like, because I watched the next one, I forgot how good this, like, the end of the season got.
They're fighting.
But
this is a good, like, lead up to that.
Well, they go to that psychic's house or whatever, and, like, they do the who doesn't trust Jen game, and everyone raises their eye. Like, and it's like, because typically it's like housewives playing that game. Like, I go back to Miami all the time, and I think about Marisol going, who at the table don't you trust? And
do
like,
you trust the least? Or whatever, yeah.
I'd like to play a game. I'd like to know who here you trust the least at the table.
And and I'm like, no, this is a psychic doing it, and she saw right into the future.
Yeah. It's actually kind of crazy looking back at it, because, like, you can tell this psychic, real or not, knew that Jen had some shit going on.
Oh, yeah. She's picking up on that energy. But, from Indy to wherever you are, we love you. We appreciate you listening. And we're so happy to be, like, back. I'm like, this is good stuff. Okay.
All right.
Love you.
Love you. Talk to you next time.